Hello and welcome to Downtime Podcast, episode 161 with Alyssa and Jeremy. How's it going, Alyssa?
Just another day. Just keep on keeping on. How are you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing okay. It's the start of the week for us. We're recording this on a Monday. It's kind of unusual, but at the same time, it's good to be here talking about video games.
Oh yeah. Speaking
I'm
of
a little bit low
games,
energy today. Oh,
what did you say?
Yeah, I'm a little sorry. We're totally talking over each other. My bad. I'm a little low energy today, but
That's fine.
I feel like I have a little bit, of second wind here to keep things going.
It is a Monday. We'll make this a short podcast. We don't have that much to talk about today. So, I finished Ghost of Tsushima. Jeremy and I are going to record an episode that will be a spoiler cast where we're going to talk about the storyline. And Jeremy, I was thinking, because you wanted me to lead that podcast, what I was going to do, or what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to just talk about all of the storyline synopses of Jin plus all side characters. And then from there, we'll just individually talk about each character.
Perfect. That works for me.
Yes. So just to sum up my thoughts about Ghost of Tsushima, that was well worth the wait since 2017.
Yeah, it exceeded all my expectations.
And for context, especially for new listeners of the podcast, Jeremy and I just randomly came across the Ghost of Tsushima trailer during a 2017 con, and I want to say it was the con that's in Germany, but I don't remember which one it is. But Sucker Punch basically dropped a teaser for Ghost of Tsushima. Both of us had no idea what it was because it was the first time they were announcing it. We were like, "What the fuck?" But this looks amazing. And then ever since we closely followed the production of that game, and then it finally came out last year. Now I'm done with it, and it was very well worth the wait.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll talk more about it after, but I may have shed some tears at the end. Who knows? So, more on that later.
Full details when our spoiler cast comes out, so please look for that when it happens.
Exactly. And Jeremy, I'm playing Persona 5 Strikers as well, which I talked about in the previous podcast. And
yeah.
So, you know how I told you that Persona 5 Strikers takes place during summer vacation? Like, they're all home from college and they're all on vacation?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a whole road trip. This is a whole road trip through Japan.
Wow, that's cool.
And the game is taking you to all the different major cities. And I explained the concept of the jail, which is basically like the dungeon level of each game, or the dungeon level of each chapter. And I'm currently on the third one. So the first one is in Tokyo. The second one is in, Sendai. The second one's in Sendai.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it takes place during the Tanabata festival too.
Ooh,
yeah, this is
very cool. So making wishes on trees.
This is a whole fleshed out summer vacation. And then the third jail now is in Hokkaido. It's in Sapporo.
Ooh.
So I'm very much enjoying the vibe, the theme of this game. I like how it centers around vacation and how your whole team is together. And not only are you just getting people's desires back, but you're also just traveling around the city. And then therefore you get to see new locations and just the depictions of it through Persona.
Man, I really need to play this game. It sounds like something I could really enjoy.
Oh, this is very much set in Japan, and I think you would have a good time playing it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I know.
I need to play the first game. I need to play Persona 5 first.
Yes, I would actually argue you could start off with Persona 4. I think Persona 4 is because the thing is, you want to start off with Persona 3 and 4, because if you go straight to Persona 5, you might not want to go back to Persona 4. Yeah, just because it's a 10-year difference between those two games.
Okay, maybe I'll just play 4 then 5, or what if I just play 5 and not play 4?
That
or
works
do you recommend playing
4 is my favorite, but in terms of what I think you would enjoy, Persona 5 takes place in Tokyo. So that might be more suited for your interest.
I think I'm gonna do 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, 4 does sound fun, but I don't know. I feel like I think
4
you're
is in
right.
the countryside.
I like the countryside, but I think I'll like 5 more.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
I need to get it. Yeah, okay. I'm excited though.
Yes.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a good time.
Man, yeah, I just once I finish Yakuza Dead Souls, I'm gonna need something else to play.
Yeah, this would be a good one. I will warn you, Persona 5 is a 90-hour commitment at least.
That's fine. I mean, so are the Yakuza games,
It's
right?
true. It's very true.
And I mean, even Breath of the Wild is like what 90 to 100-hour commitment, depending on what you do and how much of it you do.
That is very true.
But you'll be playing that when you got free time.
Yeah, when I have free
right?
time. That'll be the next game.
Nice.
Yup. A little bit.
And then
Oh, go for it.
Oh no, go ahead, please.
Oh, just a little bit more into Persona 5 and the storyline. So for anyone who's playing it, there's 3 new characters introduced to this game. You have an AI named Sophie or Sophia. You have a detective named Zenkichi, and you have an AI developer. Her name is Ichinose. And for anyone who's ever played Persona before, one of these people is the bad guy. So it's like you're introduced to all of like kind of like these main characters, and at least one of them is betraying you. So now that the field has been set, I mean, in my head, I'm like, all right, which one of you people is the bad one? Which one of you is the real villain of this game? Which one is gonna betray me? Now, I'm only on the 3rd chapter, and I think so. I haven't looked it up, but I feel like this game is gonna have at least 6 chapters. The reason for that is because each chapter of the game, you meet a random person and you're trying to change their heart, and take their heart, you're trying to change their desire so that they do good. But everyone on your team, it's like as if each side character who's on your team relates to one of the storylines. So, for example, the first storyline that I played, one of the characters related to the pop star. And then the second chapter, the second jail, one of the characters related to the author. So, and now that I'm in the Sapporo jail, a different character is relating to the mayor. So it's like if you just count how many people are in your party, aside from you, the protagonist, there's gonna be at least 6 chapters in this game.
I see.
Yes. And each jail takes about 4 to 6 hours to finish, just depending on how fast you are. So it's not that long of a game. The first chapter, I think, is the longest because it's setting everything up. The second chapter, when you get the groove, is shorter. When you start realizing the pattern, I think this game is pretty easy to digest. It's one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a few things about the battle system that I'm getting used to, but I'm understanding it a lot more. Like, I'm getting my Persona fusions in. I'm able to kind of understand the battle arena and kind of like the battlefield, and I'm having a good plan. So here are just my simple pieces of advice for anyone who's playing Persona 5 Strikers and just what's working out for me. And then Jeremy, you might not understand what this is, but if you are playing the game, then you would understand. So my first piece of advice is if you're feeling overwhelmed at the start or in the middle of the battle, you can hold R1 to pause the time and then just determine what the villain's weakness is and which persona you should use, which persona you should have equipped. And I said last week, I was button mashing like throughout the first chapter because I was like, what the hell's going on? I don't know what I'm doing. Now that I have a grasp of everything, what I do to slow down time is I hold R1 just so that I could figure out which persona is going to be relevant to this game, but also just see, all right, if I'm standing here, then the range of magic attack is going to go in this direction. Where should I be standing? Where are the special attacks in the battlefield? Just that type of thing. So even though this game is really fast paced, R1 it will help you out immensely. And then, for anyone who just knows Persona 5, renewing SP is a pain in the ass because there's not that many SP items to help out your mana power and your magic power. So, exploiting the whole system with the in and out checkpoints from last week, which is you don't waste a day when you go in and out of the checkpoint. You can just keep going in and out and restoring your energy. Don't waste your SP items until the final boss. And if you're low on SP, just go to a checkpoint and save and then just leave the jail and come back. There's really no reason for you to use any SP unless you're in the final part where you're about to send a calling card and you're in that area where it takes much longer to find the save. It's the same exact thing as previous Persona games. And then my last piece of advice is for the bond skill map. There's one skill that I think is the most useful, at least by chapter 3, which is the Oracle Recovery. And what Oracle Recovery does is your HP and SP heals after every single battle. And Futaba just heals your energy each time. So those are just my 3 tips for anyone who's playing the game. And there's probably going to be more as I continue playing. Ideally, I would like to finish episode 5 before I get really bogged down with, not episode 5, but chapter 5 by the time I get bogged down with work, but we'll see what happens. And then one last thing, Jeremy, is that the jail is kind of like based off of the chapter villains like personification of like who they are. So what's cool about the Sapporo jail is that it's based off of the Sapporo Ice Festival.
Oh.
So in Japan, it's the summer, and your characters are just having a good time on this road trip. It's super hot, but when you go into the jail, it's ice, and the castle is made out of ice, and a lot of the structures are made out of ice too. So I like that. And also, I dream one day to go to the Sapporo Ice Festival. So that's why I'm really feeling this chapter. And that's all I have to say for now about Persona 5 Strikers. And the last thing I want to talk about is Animal Crossing. So, the last week of March, Animal Crossing released a special DLC that you can only get through Amiibo at Target. And
oh my god.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this too.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So,
please continue.
Yes. So there's a special DLC that came out at the last week of March, and they're Sanrio characters. And they're special Sanrio characters, then you just have to go to Target, get the cards, and no, it's limited edition. So in my head, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. If I ever encounter it in Target, like, I would probably get it, because some of these villagers are cute. And it seems fine. But I wasn't like, I'm gonna go to Target and get it immediately. Well, Jeremy, doesn't even matter because I think it's sold out in like 5 minutes of it existing in Target. Like, I never even had a chance to get these cards. I don't even know how many stores had these cards, but it's completely sold out. And now
oh my god.
And now all of these cards are being duplicated on Etsy and of course for a more expensive price. And I'm just like, holy shit. I mean, I thought it was cute too, but goddamn, if Etsy is selling me these cards now for like $30.
Yep.
Now, that being said, I was able to score myself a Sanrio character, Jeremy, because my coworker got these cards.
Nice.
And I found out, and I was like, holy shit, can I borrow the Etoile card? And my friend was like, oh my god, I'll meet you halfway. So I met her. I haven't seen this coworker since the pandemic. So the first time I'm meeting her in life in a year and a half is us meeting halfway so she can give me her goddamn amiibo card for Etoile the sheep.
Wow.
And that being said, Jeremy, I now have Etoile the sheep in my village.
Nice.
Yes, and for anyone who doesn't know the Sanrio character related to Etoile, it's the twin stars. So I kind of wanted the bunny for because Keroppi is one of my favorite Sanrio characters, but I already have a bunny, so I just didn't, want to do. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't duplicate animals on my island. So I got the sheep. The sheep's pretty adorable. I bought all of her furniture, which, by the way, Jeremy, if you want any of her furniture, I could send it to you. But yeah, Jeremy, amiibo cards.
Yeah. It's these cards. It's like what, $5.99, and
it's really cheap.
They didn't set a limit. Yeah, they didn't set a limit apparently, and they just got sold out.
They didn't set a
5 minutes.
limit.
I mean, I'm looking at the comment section, all the reviews. By the way, on Target, it's 2 stars out of 5. 5,000 people have reviewed this.
Good.
And most of them are like, it's sold out everywhere. I'm like, okay.
God.
People complaining that they didn't set a limit. You would think that Target would have more because it's like, what, it's just plastic? But apparently not.
Yeah, I have no idea how many they even released out into the universe.
I don't know either, but I think they're going to need to make more.
Yeah,
they obviously
I have no
see
idea.
the demand, but the supply was just so little. And it's so cheap, too. $6 for all 6 cards? Because in Japan, you have to get every single one like individually. So it's $1 each. But in the US, we're spoiled. We get all of them in one pack.
Really? It's $1
nice.
each in Japan? Well, so what's nice about that, though, is if you do $1 each, then, for example, in my case, I don't want all the Sanrio characters, so I could just buy one of them.
Right. It's true, but, having the convenience of having everything in one place is also nice, too. You could sell one, or, if you ever wanted to have that character in the future, you could always just save it.
Yes.
But yeah, the cards, it's ridiculous. I was also looking at Etsy people selling them. I am not trying to get these characters like crazy. I'm definitely like on the waiting side because my town is pretty good. I love all of my villagers right now. And I don't want to, shift anything just yet, but it would be nice to have. And I also want to get one for a friend because she's super into Animal Crossing and she's like, I really want the Sanrio characters, but I can't find the cards. And I'm like, okay, if I can get a chance to ever find those for you, I would totally snag one, and give it to her. But yeah, it's ridiculous how much these are hard to come by.
Honestly, you should ask your coworkers if any of them have them. If they're willing to let you borrow for a little bit just to do an amiibo swipe. That's what I did.
I gotta ask, a lot of us at the office have kind of fallen off. The hype like died really fast in my office. Everyone was playing it for a good 2 or 3 months solid, and then after everyone made millions of bells because we were all very supportive of each other, everybody just dropped off. And I feel kind of bad because, you know, the game is still good. It's gotten better, if anything. But you know, people just they want to play other things, and it makes sense. But Animal Crossing is going to be forever a persistent game.
Good God, the
every
crazy...
version of
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say every version of Animal Crossing could go on forever, theoretically.
Yeah. The crazy thing about Animal Crossing with me is I swear to God, every month I find out a new friend has it.
Nice.
It's just never ending. All of a sudden a new friend tells me, I'm playing Animal Crossing, and I'm like, holy shit, what do you need? I'm here to help.
How much? Can I give you some money to start?
Yes. Okay, and then one more Animal Crossing comment.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in my entire life, I had expensive turnip prices at my store.
Didn't you have them before? Like last year when we were playing.
Did I have it before last year? Well, it never happened again. You see, it's been so long. It's already been a year since Animal Crossing came out.
I see.
That's how long it's been, apparently. Dang.
No worries. Yeah. It's been I remember going to your island once or twice, and you posted on the Discord.
Maybe? Okay, so maybe that was one time. All right.
Okay.
The second time that I've ever had really good prices just happened last week. And Jeremy.
Congrats.
This is the moment that I've been waiting for my entire life. Making 5 million bells purely off of tips.
Let's go.
This is what Animal Crossing is all about, people. It's about getting high turnip prices at your Nook store, having people come over and having everyone tip you, and you make your money that way. I was amazed because I think the first time I did it, it was definitely kind of more new to me, and then I was just like, yeah, just do whatever. But then now that a system's in place for Nook and turnips and the stock market, it's etiquette that you tip people, and so everyone just tipped me, and I wasn't even expecting that much tips. But yeah, it was amazing, Jeremy. That's all I have to say. It was amazing.
That's awesome. How much were they sold for, and how did you
569 bells.
Holy shit.
This is this will never happen again in my life, Jeremy. Never again.
Yeah, that's peak like stock market. Yeah, this is now peak, you can retire.
This is peak stock market. This is as good as it gets for me.
How did you announce that you had those prices? Did you use a website, or was it all internal within people in your company, or what did you do?
It was a mixture of, I'm part of the Animal Crossing server on Discord, plus coworkers, plus friends, plus I posted it in any other Discord that I'm a part of. Plus,
nice.
I don't even know what, but yeah, I'm 5 million bells purely off of tips.
Let's go. Good shit. Yeah. Good stuff, Alyssa.
I know. This is as good as it gets.
Exactly.
This is the peak of my Animal Crossing play. So it will never get better.
Yeah, the highest I had was like 400 something last year, and I was like, I quit after this. I literally like just stopped playing the stock market because, you know, I had enough money.
Yeah.
Still kind of do, but like I don't play it enough to warrant having to get more money. Because once you pay off all your loans, all you spend your money on is like, you know, random shit. I'm just a hoarder now.
Hey,
all I do is just spend money on clothing, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Nothing wrong with hoarding.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. No, the Animal Crossing is all about how much cool shit you have and how you organize it. Like that's the basis of the game, along with, you know, social interactions with your villagers, obviously.
Exactly.
But having money equals having more cool shit, and you know, I think I have enough cool shit where I'm like, all right, I don't have to modify my town for a good while. Like I've thought about modifying where my house is and just moving stuff around, but I kind of get lazy. But at the end of the day, you know, you play the stock market, you win a lot. You're like, I can retire now. And now you can just play the game and do whatever the hell you want and not have all that extra stress and worry about using the stock market.
Yep, I agree.
It's great.
I think once I'm done reconstructing and remodeling my island, I think that's it for the year. Not going to do any more major remodeling, but it'll be a good time.
Yeah. I had a goal where I was like, okay, next January, this is like in March of last year, I was like, next January, I'm going to make my island extremely different. I'm going to change the things up. And then January rolled around and I was like, you know what? I actually kind of like it.
I know. I actually really liked my layout that I've had for pretty much 8 months. It took a while for me to get there, and I really liked it. The only reason I'm changing it up is because I want to split up my island a little bit so that it's kind of more themed-ish, and then also I'm making a random shape on my map. So, like, as in, if you look at the map topography, then you can see a specific shape.
I see. Yeah. That's cool.
So that's what I'm working towards.
Nice.
Yes. And that is all that I'm playing right now, Jeremy.
Awesome.
What are you up to?
My end is kind of the same. Nothing has really changed.
Yeah.
So, I've been playing Fall Guys a little bit more because this season of Fall Guys has more vaporwave stuff. So for those that don't know, vaporwave is like this aesthetic where it's all like neon pink and purple, and it has like that Outrun sunset going down, and it reminds me a lot of city pop, which is a genre of Japanese music that I've grown very fond of in the past couple of years. Nice. Okay, so you kind of understand why I would want to get all these like vaporwave-esque items from Fall Guys.
Kind of a 1980s aesthetic too.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And so I was like, you know what? This is up my alley. This is just my style. So
yes.
I've been playing a lot to grind because every season they have items you can get by just leveling up your character. And you level up your character by completing, games. And winning crowns, and the more crowns you win, the more you progress in the seasons. I forget what it's called, but it's like a tree or like an item chain or something. You get items from doing stuff in the season and leveling up your character. They updated the game recently to allow squad play, so you can have a team of 4 people, and once you win all the games as a squad, everybody in the squad gets a crown and you all win together.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
That is the most ideal way for, in my opinion, to play, because at its core, Fall Guys is a battle royale. Like, even though it has all this like cute obstacle course aesthetic to it, like think like Ninja Warrior meets Wipeout meets MXC/Takeshi's Castle.
Yes.
It's all that fun stuff, but at the same time, you still have to eliminate people. You can get eliminated. There's no, there's no guns. There's no like extreme violence. You might call it like hitting people or falling, Fall Guys, right? Falling like violent, but it's very kid friendly. Indicated by the colors. It's definitely rated E for everyone game, but there still is that competitive aspect to it. There's still that edge. And adding squads to it just furthers the fact that it's more of a battle royale, if anything. So it's a lot of fun because like a lot of people will dress up in the same costumes, and they're one team, and I got my squad, we're one team, and just today I won 2 crowns back to back with these awesome randos. It was my buddy and 2 other people that we didn't know, and we won couple of games of Fall Guys in squads, and I was pretty happy about that. Like back to back, got that 2-peat.
That 2-peat,
the double ring champion. Yeah, so it was legit, and I've been playing a lot of that just to get all the items in the season. Some Dead by Daylight here and there. To be honest, like real talk, I've been kind of feeling fatigued from playing Dead by Daylight. There's definitely some game fatigue because. It was like I started playing it in September 2019, and I played it almost every single day from September 2019 until I'd say like October or November of last year. And the burnout is real. I gotta say, like, I've never played a game as consistently as I did Dead by Daylight. Like this was the first time that I spent money on like cosmetics in the game.
Yeah.
Like I typically don't do that kind of thing because I don't know. To me, like, I need to justify that purchase by spending more time in the game. But with Dead by Daylight, I was like, okay, I play this game literally every day. So if I bought something, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I justified the purchases by saying I play this every day, and I did. But, I kind of just fell off. And I think that's okay. It's okay to have burnout. It's okay to feel fatigued. But, gotta take a rest. And, tomorrow is going to be a new update for Dead by Daylight where they rework a lot of the survivor perks, the killer abilities, base abilities, killer perks as well. So that's going to be interesting because it's a lot of things people have been complaining about. For example, Freddy Krueger has like he's really fast as a killer, and they're reducing his speed. So that's kind of cool. His base speed, which is just him walking, is what I mean. So that's changing. And I'm looking forward to those. I'm going to be playing. Maybe I'll stream it tomorrow. I'm not sure, but looking forward to the small update and Dead by Daylight. And the final thing that I've been playing is Yakuza Dead Souls. I'm still playing as Majima, and oh my god, this game is really not canon.
I bet.
There's a part where this is so ridiculous. This is a sub story, so it's not a spoiler. But there's a part where Majima is holed up in Kamurocho Hills with Daigo and a bunch of other Yakuza guys and some civilians because they got trapped there from the zombie apocalypse. So like there's a zombie horde outside, right? But the building's closed off and sealed, but there's still some zombies lurking inside. And it's up to Majima and Daigo to find them. So Majima's like, all right, we're gonna need to find a couple because usually in horror movies, the horny couple are the ones that get killed first, and they're gonna be the bait. And Daigo's like, all right, how about you go ask those couples over there? So as Majima, you have to ask all these couples, and all of them say no. And you're like, damn it, where am I gonna find a girl? And then it cuts to Majima staring at Daigo, and he's like, hey Daigo, you kind of look kind of pretty if you wore a dress and had some makeup on, because he's got long hair. And Daigo's like, what? Excuse me? He's like, why would you say that? And then cut to the next scene where Daigo is all dressed up in women's clothing and he's got makeup on. And Majima's like, ooh, he's like, boss, you look really nice. And then Daigo's all embarrassed. He's like, why would you say that? Stop saying such flattering things about me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Daigo's all flattered and he's all embarrassed, and Majima's all like, come on, it's okay. And so he's like, you gotta hold my hand. And then they hold hands, and then a zombie appears and you kill it. And he's like, okay, we gotta do other stuff too. And so they're walking, and then he's like, pretend you're scared or something. And then another zombie comes out, and then you're like, okay, we gotta find the last one. So you go down to the bottom floor of Kamurocho Hills, and Daigo's standing there. Majima's in front of him. He's like, I don't see the zombie anywhere. Maybe he's invisible. He's like, and Majima's like, all right, we gotta lure him out somehow.
Yeah.
So, and then, literally, these are the subtitles. I did not write this, but Majima's like, you gotta give me.
Some subtitles are the greatest subtitles ever in the history of video games in the Yakuza franchise. So
this was an entirely different translation team. Some would argue that this was a little bit worse, but for this sub story, I thought it was hilarious. Some of the slang is British. I don't know why, but earlier in the game, I think Majima says let's get knackered or something, and I was like,
what does that even
mean?
Hell?
Let's get messed up or something. It's British slang for let's drink a lot or let's get fucked up, I think. But it's definitely British slang. So cut to back in Kamurocho Hills, Majima turns to Daigo and he's like, well, there's only one way. He's like, you gotta give me some sugar. Daigo's like,
my god,
like a kiss. He's like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And then he's like, this is so bad. And then literally Majima's like, how about and it cuts off where it just says BL, and it cuts off, and then the zombie appears, and Daigo's like, oh, thank god. He was definitely gonna say blowjob, and I was like, oh my god, Majima, bro. And then you kill the zombie, and then Daigo's all embarrassed. He's like, I can't believe you made me do this. And I was like, this is really not canon. Majima's hitting on Daigo the whole time, and I'm just like, dude.
Why not? Why not? I
mean, it's for the fans, right? The fans wanted this. The developers are like, you know what? This isn't canon. We're gonna do whatever we want. We're gonna have this promiscuous scene with Majima and Daigo, and people are gonna like it. Oh my god, I was genuinely like, what the hell is this? I was laughing my ass off, and at the same time, I just kept saying out loud, there's I'm so glad this isn't canon. Like, there's no way this is canon. Like, Daigo would never act like this.
It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
Oh, absolutely. This M-rated game for the kids.
It's for the
like,
kids.
They understand the
Always for
plight.
the kids.
Oh, they know about the Tojo clan. The kids love the Tojo clan.
Oh yeah.
But that was the highlight of the last time I played the game. So I'm still playing as Majima, and going through the campaign more. Basically what's happening is more zombie attacks, trying to figure out how the zombies came here, how they came alive, how Ryuji Goda is alive because he died in the second game. And so you're like, okay, how is he alive? And then Majima's like, maybe he's a zombie. It's like, what? But he doesn't look like one. So trying to figure out what's happening there. And the florist came back because the last game he was in was 2, right?
Remind me who the florist is again?
The guy that has all the monitors and he runs.
Oh, it is 2.
Yeah, and he comes back in this one, which takes place between 4 and 5. And they're like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" And he's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Okay, cool, we're doing this." So
the florist is the guy who's wearing kind of like the robe.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Kiwami for sure. It's in the
right.
Kiwami games.
It was like, yeah, Kiwami 1 and then 2, and then he disappeared.
Yeah.
I think
we never see him ever again.
Yeah, because you help someone important to him.
Yes.
Yeah. So he came back, and I was like, what the heck? So definitely not canon because he came back. But it was fun seeing him. I was like, yo, they got him back. Let's go.
Hey. Anything's possible in Dead Souls.
Listen, people come back to life.
Yes.
People come back. Not even to life. They just come back. And that's awesome.
Exactly.
So that was a lot of fun. And I'll have another update next week. Oh, and actually, no. Next time the podcast happens, you won't be here, Lisa. But hopefully you'll listen to what I have to say
I'll
about
for sure
the
listen
game.
to it.
Yeah. So that's all I'm playing so far.
Very nice. We don't have that much news today. We only have one piece of news, actually. Okay. So, Jeremy.
Yes.
MLB The Show 2021. It's a baseball game.
Yep.
This past week, they announced that the game on launch is going to be available on Xbox's Game Pass. Now, from a first glance, you might just be thinking, okay, sure, like, so what? This, it's available on Game Pass on launch, like, I don't see what the problem is. Okay. I found this out. MLB The Show is developed by San Diego Studio, and they're a first-party dev for Sony.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. So, what this means is that Xbox Game Pass is going to release this game essentially for free, just the price of your monthly or yearly membership for Xbox Game Pass. But the game is not going to come out on PlayStation Plus or anything like that on PlayStation. It's going to be the regular game, and you have to purchase it.
Wow.
So,
interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting. What happened is that the brand itself, the brand of Major League Baseball, decided that they wanted the game to come out on Xbox Game Pass for launch, for marketing. But
okay,
at the end of the day, even if the not publisher, but the brand wants you to do something, ultimately the developer has to, eventually agree to it. So basically, PlayStation agreed to releasing their own game on their competitor Xbox's streaming pass for free. And on their own platform, PlayStation is charging for it.
I'm guessing it's like $60 on PlayStation.
Probably 60 or 70. I don't know how much prices are anymore.
Talk about competition. That's insane.
Yeah. So I don't know if Major League Baseball, weird to say, I don't know if Major League Baseball strong-handed Sony. I don't know what's going on with that. But I do think it's weird that they're not even releasing it on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, it seems kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's weird. In fact, I would say, I don't know what's happening, but this is a pretty concerning, problematic thing for Sony.
Yeah, their own developer.
Yeah.
Like, not doing what basically Xbox is doing. I guess, my thought process is, I'm thinking that, like, Sony's still riding on a high horse, and they're like, you know what? People will still buy it anyways. And I think that might be true. People might still buy it.
I know, I hate it. It's exactly what's going to happen. But
yeah,
I hope that they do badly on PlayStation, because PlayStation needs to learn their own lesson.
Yeah, I feel like PlayStation is, they still think that they're number one. I mean, I haven't been looking at the sales for Xbox Series X versus PlayStation. I think I talked about this on the last podcast. I don't know which one's like selling more, which one's doing better than the other. In my mind, they're just doing the same. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we won't really know this current gen until the end of the year how things are going. PlayStation won Gen 4 though, so they're still riding high and they're acting pretty arrogant about it. But yeah, they're releasing a free game on their own competitor and expecting people to pay on their own platform. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, that's insane.
Honestly, it's really shady, Sony. What the fuck?
Yeah, calm down, Sony.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens next.
Yeah. And that is all for news today.
Yeah, so we're going to move into questions now. So we have one here from Dave97, also known as Chariot Goblin. He submitted a question through our contact form on our website. So thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
/Chariot. Yeah, thank you for doing that, because I feel like we get most of our questions via comments on our podcast via like YouTube or wherever, what have you, or Discord. But it's nice and refreshing to see a comment come through that's not spam.
Yes, exactly.
So the comment says, "Hey Jeremy and Alyssa, since you last heard from me, I was working through Yakuza 0 side modes. I am now a Yakuza 0 real estate and cabaret king.
Yes.
I am taking a break from Yakuza and decided to buy Persona 5 Strikers since it was on sale for $40. It feels so great to be back in the world of P5, even if I spent close to 150 hours in P5 Royal last year. Just completed the first dungeon/character arc, and I'm ready to spend more time with these characters, even if the combat is too chaotic at times. Thanks, and keep up the great work. P.S. The last podcast episode made me hungry for beef and broccoli." Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're updating us on your Yakuza life. It's always good to take a break. As I mentioned earlier in the episode, you get fatigue. You get burnout from video games, especially if you play the same game for like 150 hours plus.
Exactly.
And when you come back after that, it'll be refreshing to play the game again. And thank you for letting us know that we're doing a good job. It's always good to hear positive feedback from our community.
Yes. And hopefully this podcast is useful for some tips to play Persona 5 Strikers so it's not as chaotic.
Right. And let us know if you got that broccoli and beef. Did you get it? Because that sounds really good right now too. Gotta be honest.
One thing I want to comment is that the price dropped for Persona 5 Strikers, I think 3 weeks after I bought it. And I was just like, of course it did. But
I'd be kind of mad, like,
yeah.
Real talk.
It is what it is, but God, can't believe this.
Right.
It's okay though.
Yeah.
I feel like it's worth the price that I paid for.
Yeah, I mean, how much was it? Like 60 when you bought it?
It was 60 when I bought it. But I very much enjoying the game, and this game is definitely going to take at least 50 hours to beat.
Yeah, you'll get your money's worth for
Exactly.
sure. Maybe more if you do other stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. we have another question from Dave97 on our Discord, and he asks, this isn't really a gaming question, but it can involve gaming. How do you deal with nights when you just can't sleep for whatever reason? I know of people who use gaming to cure their insomnia or occasional sleeplessness. That's a good one. What about you, Alyssa?
Sometimes I have... Do you ever have those times when you can't sleep because you have a leg cramp, like a Charlie horse?
Oh my god, those are literally my nightmare. Like, not even dreaming about it, just actually happening.
It happens
like
all the time.
I will wake up. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
I've been able to combat it. What I do I'm gonna answer this in two ways. If I wake up with a cramp, what I do is I stand up, I drink 2 cups of water, and then I stretch. Because if you're cramping, most of the time it's because you're dehydrated. So just drop in some bio for anyone who's ever had a Charlie horse. Drink water and stretch, and then you should be fine going back to sleep.
Real talk.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yep. In terms of insomnia, so if I'm trying to fall asleep, I'll actually watch a TV show or I'll watch a movie because it's much more passive. If I have insomnia and I'm playing a game because I'm more engaged in it, I'm more likely to stay up. But at some point, it'll trigger for me when I'm watching a TV show or a movie that I'll get tired a lot faster. So I prefer that medium when I can't sleep versus playing video games.
Yeah. No, that makes sense because it's just constant noise, because like with video games, you have to be aware of things and you have to, obviously use a controller or use your keyboard and mouse.
Exactly.
With TV, you just sit there and you just take in the information.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. For me personally, when there's nights I can't sleep, I just lay there and I just hope that the Sandman will take me away.
Hey, I've done that before. Sometimes you're just in your feelings and your thoughts while you're in
oh my god, like I feel like that started happening more to me last year when the pandemic hit, because I was just, cooped up inside and anxiety really hit and, shit got real.
It shit really does get real.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, I've been like experimenting with like other like stuff like melatonin. I have like these sleeping pills I got from Walgreens, but I try not to take them because they make me feel really groggy when I wake up. Like it puts me out fast, but I don't like that feeling.
I feel it.
And I've been experimenting with THC and CBD.
Yeah.
I obviously these are things that I can do because the state that I'm in allows them. They're legal where I am, but if you're listening and you live abroad or if you live in a state that doesn't allow that, then it's going to be harder to come by and it's not really recommended.
Yeah.
It is a very natural way for me to sleep because of just how I feel. Of course, melatonin is more natural because it's a chemical that your body produces. But, THC and CBD are chemicals from the earth. So they're a little bit more, refined. Although they are processed by humans, they are also a little bit more natural, I'd say.
Yeah.
Than stuff like over-the-counter sleeping pills that you would get from like Walgreens or Target. But I've been experimenting with those, and it's been working out. I usually take them on specific days that I know that I'm not going to be able to sleep well. So
it makes sense.
I usually like Sunday nights are when I take like a capsule of like CBD or THC, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to be out for the rest of the night. But every other day I try to do melatonin. Interestingly, I actually accidentally took too much melatonin the other day. It's not gonna hurt you in any way, but it did make me feel really drowsy the entire day. And so my whole Sunday was kind of shot because I was just so tired and lazy. But I mean, I wasn't doing anything that weekend anyways, so it didn't matter. But I just don't like the feeling of being sleepy in the daytime because I want to feel productive and I want to do things. But sometimes you need a break and you need to relax and not think about work and not think about other things in life and just sit back, put on a TV show and just chill,
Exactly.
But yeah, that's what I do, Dave. Hopefully you can get some good sleep. If you have another way of falling asleep when you can't, let us know. I mean, some people do tea, some people do warm milk, some people like take a quick walk. There's a lot of different ways that people do things, but yeah, these are the reasons that Alyssa and I just stated. So let us know, Dave, if there's another way that you find effective.
Lavender scent, essential oils, or candles are really good ways to make someone sleepy.
I was given like this eye mask from a friend from Japan, and you wear it, and it gets warm over time. Like the eye mask smells like lavender, so you smell lavender, and then it starts to get warm, not to a point where it like will burn you, but like to a point that it's comfortable. And I gotta say, I've been trying to find those masks again because that shit worked. Yeah. Like I was so sleepy after. I was like, dude, I'm done.
Lavender works.
This is the perfect after shower thing, you know?
Yes.
Some people like take shots of liquor or drink a beer before they sleep. Ugh. I can't do that. That's too much.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, if we were younger and in college, for sure, I'd be like, "Yo, let's go hard, bro. Let's fucking take these shots and go to sleep." But
not right now.
That's not me. Nah, I'm getting too old. We're almost 30, Alyssa. Can you believe
that? Stop.
Nope. My bad.
Not yet.
So we got a couple more questions here from our Discord server. One from PJ Sucks. If a game has save slots, how many slots will you use to save your game? I'll sometimes use 2 save slots for one playthrough. Interesting.
Let me start off by saying 2 save slots for one playthrough is not enough for me. That might as well just be one save slot. I save my games at least 5 different times in 5 different slots throughout my playthrough. If the game,
real talk,
if the game has save slot, because if a game does autosave, I still manually save also.
Yes.
I am such a saving fiend. I don't take any risks. I don't know if I'm ever going to come back to a place. I don't know if this place can ever be visited ever again. So I'm just going to save and drop as much as I can. So on average 5. But there's definitely times, for example, Persona. I'm at least making 10 save slots for this. But most of the time it'll be 5.
Yeah. For me, it also just depends on the game. So like Elder Scrolls games, Bethesda games, open world games like that, where they offer like unlimited save slots, I will take advantage of those save slots. Like trust me, I will save as much as I can where I can because I just need to.
Don't trust you never know when your power is gonna go out. And
yeah, exactly.
You just never know. So
I became a stickler for having more save slots because in 2014, I played Tomb Raider, the remake, the Crystal Dynamics one, and I got to near the end game, and it was a part where you have to, like, as Laura, you run and you have to jump to a helicopter. So I grabbed the helicopter, and the game immediately crashed, and it reverted my save file to, like, the beginning of the game. And I was so pissed because I spent hours trying to get to that point.
Never know.
Yeah. And I read online that was a common glitch and they didn't have a fix for it. And I was like, oh shit. And they're like, yeah, you should have had 2 save points. But I didn't know. Like I did not know. And from then on, I was like, I'm saving every game with 2 or more save slots if I can.
Exactly.
Especially Yakuza games. I try to have at least 2 or 3. The most you can have is 3, unfortunately. But that third one I reserve for the premium adventure slot because your boy wants to get some shit in the future, you know?
Hey.
So that's why I got the third slot. But the first one is the autosave. The second one is the manual save. I always manually save in a Yakuza game because you never know. Like you just said, Alyssa, you never know when your power is going to go out.
You never know when your power is going to go out. You never know if your autosave's going to bork. You just got to save manually. I don't trust any.
Right?
Don't trust no one.
Don't trust PG&E if you live in the Bay.
Nope. Never trust them.
Another good game that forces you to manually save is Animal Crossing, because although there's autosave in this iteration of Animal Crossing, New Horizons, I still have a good habit of saving and quitting the game, because I'm just used to that when it comes to those games. Like in the GameCube version, you could not autosave and you'd get yelled at by Mr. Rossetti. I have never had to force quit my game for whatever reason, so I've never seen Mr. Rossetti in New Horizons. So I don't even know if he exists. I heard that he doesn't because
I don't even know what
Nintendo
you're
thought
talking
it
about,
scared
Jeremy.
kids. Whatever. I'm just babbling at this point. But manually save your games. How about that? And PJ, we save a lot. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes.
But that's good on you for using 2 for one playthrough, because it's just smart. You gotta save your game. You gotta back up your save files.
You gotta save more, PJ. Gotta save more.
Do you guys back up your save files? Because I back mine up kind of regularly on an external hard drive, because I'm really worried about my games not existing, like my save files not existing.
Exactly. Oh, and then one thing that I will never understand, the people who kind of just put their console on sleep, and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm about to fight this boss, but I'm not gonna save. I'm gonna put my console to sleep and fight in the morning. Oh my god, what if your power went out at night?
Yeah.
That's about, like, putting your console on sleep is fine if you're gonna eat, or
Yes,
or not be that far away. But if you're gonna be away from your console for more than 8 hours, that's a huge risk. You don't know what's gonna happen. What if your console overheats or some random thing happens? So yeah,
like a power surge that fries the components of your console or something.
Exactly. Moral of the story:
or an earthquake.
Save your game. Save your game.
Yeah. Well, real talk though, I actually put my Switch to sleep when it's in dock mode, because I could just press the home button on my Pro controller and wake up the Switch. But if the power went out, it'll run on battery, so I'm actually not too worried about that. Yeah. And like seriously though, whenever I put my Switch to sleep, I actually make sure all my games are done. They're all quitted out, because I don't know, it's just a habit of mine, just to when I boot up my console, I want to be able to choose what I want to play next and not have to worry about, oh shit, I didn't save in this game. I have to get to that save point,
Makes complete sense to me.
I have never put my PS4 in sleep mode other than to download a game or update a game in the past. Like when I was living at my old place, because I had such shitty Wi-Fi, I would leave it on rest mode overnight without running any games, because I was just downloading updates or downloading new software. That was the only reason why I left my PS4 to sleep, but never to play Yakuza, not save, go to sleep, wake up, and then play it again. I never understood that logic, to be honest. So
that's some risky business right there.
Yeah, seriously though. Seriously. But yeah, lessons learned, right?
Lessons learned.
The final question we have is from Hooded Dude. So thank you, Hooded Dude, for submitting this one. And thank you again, PJ, for your question. So Hooded Dude asks, what's your gaming ritual? Like, for example, on Sundays, I really enjoy lying on the couch with a podcast on and play open world games or otherwise stuff I don't need to focus on the story. Wow. That's cool. Chill Sundays. I like it.
I don't
Alyssa?
have a specific day where I just dedicate to gaming. It just happens. If it happens, it happens. But I don't. In general, on the weekdays, my time is usually dedicated to side missions or level grinding in a game. Just kind of doing, for example, in Ghost of Tsushima, what I would be doing this time is just doing a bunch of the side missions or just invading Mongol territory, but I wouldn't be doing main story until the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, for example, I was really close to beating the game, then I just knock it out at midnight or so. But for the most part, on the weekdays, I don't do anything extremely strenuous with gaming. On the weekends is when I do more storyline and whatnot. And then I actually do
That makes sense.
I do that same thing too, where I listen to podcasts if I'm just level grinding, just because it passes time and I can listen to something while I'm just fighting some monsters. What I will say though is in terms of gaming ritual, when I'm I don't know what it is, but when I'm really close to beating a game and at that point it's just like playing it for 4 hours straight to finish, I like to order like Chinese food
That's awesome.
for some reason. Like I'll order something where I can just like sit next to it and just continuously pick at it while I'm finishing up the game. Like for example,
so that's like your gamer food.
Yeah, for example, Ghost of Tsushima, I had honey walnut shrimp and I had fried rice. So that's basically kind of like the only ritual that I really have. Oh, a perfect example, like I would play Animal Crossing on the weekdays because that's so not strenuous in any way whatsoever.
Yeah. I'm kind of the opposite, where on weekdays I have so much energy from like work that I need to put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I tend to play like more competitive games, so like Dead by Daylight or Fall Guys. And then on the weekends, like I don't know, I still kind of play those games, but I try to avoid them, and I want to focus more on single player games. I just feel like on the weekends I have a lot less things to worry about. So I focus more attention and time on single player stuff. Albeit I do dedicate time every week to play Yakuza Dead Souls, but I feel like in that case it's still a little bit more actiony, so I can put my energy into that.
Yes.
And kind of de-stress once all that's gone and out. But on the weekends, I try to focus a little bit more on single player stuff where I don't play with other people, or if I'm playing with someone, it's a game that we can just relax to and not really, yell about later on or get angry about.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, hope that answers your question, Hooded Dude. Thanks again for the question.
Yes.
And that's it.
Great. For anyone who has any other questions for the podcast, you can contact us at www.downtime.live, and we have a contact sheet that you could fill out. You could also email us at contact at downtime.live. Yes. I was about to say contact at gmail.com.
Don't do that. That's going to go somewhere else.
I was like, wait, what am I talking about right now? So
It's okay.
So there you go. On our official website, as well as anywhere where we have the podcast, in the description, there's links to Discord where you can join our official Discord, and you can also ask us questions there. We also have Twitter. We are available on all major streaming platforms. So that's Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, anywhere where they post podcasts, we are there. And we're also on Apple Podcasts. So if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please write us a review and we'll read it on the show.
And
that's it.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter. We also have a Twitter. Downtime.Live is the name. At Downtime.Live is our Twitter handle. And that's really it. So thank you guys for listening to podcast episode 161. See you guys next time.
Peace.